Imagine waking up a year from now, not just surviving, but thriving. A life so aligned with your goals, it feels like it was custom built for you. That's not a pipe dream, it's a choice, and it starts today. Most people overestimate what they can do in a week and underestimate what they can do in a year. Transformation isn't about massive leaps. It's about the small, consistent steps that compound into something extraordinary. What if, instead of aiming to overhaul your life all at once, you focused on just one habit at a time that could ripple through every part of your life? This isn't another self-improvement gimmick video. It's the intentional framework to help you break free from where you are and build momentum toward where you want to be. Accept your starting point. Choose one powerful habit and let discipline guide you. The compounding effect will do the rest. By the end of this video, you'll have a simple, actionable strategy to change your life for good. Accept where you are. Before any real change can happen, there's one uncomfortable truth to confront. You can't fix what you refuse to acknowledge. It's easy to rush into self-improvement mode, but ignoring your current reality is like trying to build a house without a foundation. If you don't know where you're starting from, how will you ever know how to move forward? Start by looking at your life with brutal honesty. Not the Instagram-filtered version you show the world. Not the sugar-coated version you tell yourself to avoid the sting of regret. The real version. What habits are holding you hostage? What patterns keep you spinning in circles? Is it the endless scrolling, the procrastination, the avoidance of tough conversations? Write it all down. Yes, it's uncomfortable. But discomfort is the price of admission for growth. It's not just about habits. What false stories are you telling yourself? What things do you believe about yourself that stem from lack of self-esteem? These narratives might feel true, but they're not truth. They're a defense mechanism, a way to shield yourself from the effort and vulnerability real change demands. Create a present state inventory. This is where you document your habits, beliefs, and patterns. This inventory isn't about beating yourself up, it's about building a map. Think of it as GPS for your life. Until you pinpoint your starting location, you'll never reach your destination. But that's only the first step. There's no point in writing things down if you continue to be stuck in the same place. Acknowledge where you are, but refuse to accept it as permanent. Your past choices might have built this version of your life, but you're holding the pen now. Every single day, you have the chance to rewrite your life. Accepting your starting point is all about gearing up for what's next. Choose your Keystone habit. When life feels overwhelming, the instinct is to tackle everything at once. New diet, new workout plan, new morning routine. Because if you're going to change, you might as well go big, right? But trying to do everything usually leads to doing nothing. A Keystone habit is like the first domino in a chain reaction. When you nail it, it naturally influences other areas of your life, often without much extra effort. Let's say you start exercising regularly, and suddenly you'll notice you're sleeping better, eating healthier, and feeling more confident. The key is to pick one habit that aligns with the vision of your ideal self, not your friends' goals, not what social media says you should do. Your vision. What's one small shift that would make the biggest difference in your life? This isn't about overhauling everything overnight. It's about finding the habit that you feel is the most impactful in your current state. Picture your ideal day. What would your morning look like? How would you feel at work or with loved ones? What routines would support that version of you? Identify the gaps between your current state and that ideal day. Maybe it's energy, clarity, or focus. Then pick one habit to bridge the gap. Just one habit that you feel calls you to living that ideal life. A Keystone habit doesn't have to be massive to make an impact. It just needs to be consistent. Don't confuse small with simple. Often, the simple things are the path to real change. You don't need to do everything all at once to change your life. You just need to do one thing consistently and make that one habit a non-negotiable for your day. Your relationship with discipline. Discipline isn't a punishment. It's not about waking up at 5 a.m. just to prove you're grinding or forcing yourself to stick to a routine you hate. Discipline is about respect. Respect for yourself, your goals, and the life you're trying to build. Most people think discipline is about being superhuman, like waking up every morning with boundless motivation. But motivation is like a fickle friend. It comes and then suddenly disappears. Discipline, on the other hand, is the reliable one. It's the friend who shows up, rain or shine, no excuses. When you show up for yourself with discipline, you're telling yourself that you're worth all the effort you're putting in. Every time you follow through on your Keystone habit, you reinforce the belief that you deserve the life you're working toward. And that is fundamental for developing self-respect. Discipline teaches you to act in alignment with your goals, even when you don't feel like it. Every small win builds confidence. Sticking to your plan, even for one day, builds trust in yourself. And trust is the foundation of any strong relationship, including the one you have with yourself. But discipline isn't about going 0 to 100 all at once. Even after choosing your Keystone habit, it's likely you jump into it with the idea that you're going to hit it out of the park. So start small, then scale. Don't promise to work out 7 days a week if you've been inactive for months. Start with 3, even 1. Build consistency first, then increase intensity. And on days you can't make yourself follow through, just think of giving that habit 2 minutes of your time. Starting is often the hardest part. Once you do, though, the momentum carries you further. When you practice discipline, you're reshaping your identity. You're becoming the kind of person who doesn't break promises to themselves. That shift is powerful. It's the foundation for confidence, self-love, and success in every area of life. The compounding effect. Big transformations don't happen in a single leap. They're built one tiny, seemingly insignificant step at a time. This is the compounding effect in action. The small, consistent actions you take today don't just add up, they multiply. But most people overlook the power of small wins because they're too busy chasing big goals. Success isn't about doing one big thing perfectly. It's about doing the little things consistently. Picture a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it's small, slow, barely noticeable. But as it gathers momentum, it becomes an unstoppable force. That's what the compounding effect does. It takes your tiny habits and turns them into massive results over time. Yes, at first, the changes might feel invisible. You stay consistent for a week, but you feel no changes. It might seem like your life still feels chaotic, but stick with it. Over time, those tiny changes will compound into something life-changing. And once you're comfortable, that one Keystone habit, when you've shown discipline to be consistent, and your first habit feels as automatic as brushing your teeth. Build your habit ladder. Add a new habit that complements your first one. This keeps your momentum up and your progress stable. Keep repeating this until you've built the ladder with intentional habits that resonate with you. This is the ladder that gets you to your ideal self. The compounding effect bears fruit in the long run when you look back at your starting point. The gap between when you started and where you have come becomes huge. And that's when you realize that the change you felt was invisible initially is clearly seen. Learn to fall in love with the process. We live in a world obsessed with results. Everything is measured by the shiny finish line. But the happiest, most fulfilled people aren't addicted to the end goal. They're in love with the process. Because the process is where the magic of transformation happens, and if you can learn to fall in love with it, the results will take care of themselves. When you're in love with the process, your happiness isn't tied to a specific outcome. You're less likely to give up when progress feels slow. You build resilience. The setbacks, the plateaus, the times when it feels like nothing's working. They all become part of the story, not reasons to quit. You don't label your habits and actions as chores or obligations. Instead, you embrace the identity of a person who naturally embodies those actions. The person who you've always wanted to become. But learning to love the journey is hard. We often avoid hard habits because we see them as boring, painful, or inconvenient. And a simple perspective shift is all you need to develop that love. Attach habits to your values. The habit you choose should reflect who you are at your core. It's easy to fall into the trap of seeing a list of good habits on social media, but not everything aligns with your core identity. Find what speaks to you and do it consistently. And along the way, celebrate small milestones. Instead of waiting for the big payoff, reward yourself for the little wins. A week done, a month done. Celebrate it. These micro rewards keep you engaged. Growth isn't supposed to be easy. It's about shifting from comfort to discomfort, so you can build lasting comfort in your life. Not the comfort that ruins your future, but the one that makes you fulfilled. Reframe your belief about hard things. They're hard because they're helping you build strength. They're helping you change into your actuality. Falling in love with the process means you're choosing to show up for yourself, not because of some distant reward, but because you believe you're worth the effort today. The process isn't a detour on the way to success. It is the success. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a vote for the person you're becoming. Your life doesn't change by accident. It changes by design. Every small habit you choose today is a brick in the foundation of the life you want to build. Accept where you are. Pick your keystone habit. Embrace discipline. And trust the compounding effect. And most importantly, fall in love with the process. Now, it's your turn. Take one step today. Write down your present state inventory. Choose one keystone habit to focus on. And commit to showing up for yourself, even if it's just for 2 minutes. This isn't about waiting for some magical moment in the future to feel alive. It's about reclaiming your days, your choices, and your identity right now. The life you've been dreaming of isn't out there somewhere. It's waiting for you to create it. If this resonated with you, don't just watch, act. Drop a comment sharing the one habit you're starting today, or share this video with someone who needs a reminder that small changes lead to big transformations. Let's start building momentum together. Be sure to subscribe, and if you want to know how life can be played on easy mode, then watch this video right here. It's not fluff tips that give you a bunch of habits to follow. It's a deep dive into how you can bridge the journey from feeling something is hard to making it easy through action.